What's good, fam? Thanks for joining me again for another GoatFormat video. So, a big thanks to everybody who gave me such a warm welcome in my last video. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm here now, guys, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me in the future. Also, before we get started in this match, if you want to help support this channel, just check out the description below. You can go ahead and use the TCG player link that I have there if you're going to pick up any cards for Modern, for GoatFormat, or any of these other retro formats that are starting to come up. You can do so there. It won't cost you any more than whatever you're purchasing. I'll just get a little cut from that. Or you can go ahead and check out my merch link, which is also in the description below, and get yourself some GringingGoatFormat merch. But yeah, guys, let's just hop right into this match. So today's match is between Banbui 10, who's got a 1339 rating, which I think puts him in the top 5 of the GoatFormat ladder. And he's playing against Ghost Rider 15, who I've had on this channel 1,000 times, who's got a 1287 rating. So this should be an amazing match. Let's just hop right into this, guys. So Ghost Rider is going to win the rock, paper, scissors. Obviously, they're going to choose to go first. Opening hand for Ghost Rider is Regeki Break, Solemn Judgment, Book of Moon, Dakochi, and Thunder Dragon. So he's clearly playing some kind of chaos variant. Banbui opening hand is Kaiku, Upstart, Nobleman, Merch, and Scapegoats. So you could be playing Chaos or you could be playing Goat Control. Next card for Ghost Rider is Nobleman. So I'm assuming he's just going to go ahead and activate Thunder Dragon. And then he can set Dakochi with Book of Moon. And that'll be enough protection for something like a Breaker. Even this Kaiku that's here. But most likely the Breaker is what you're thinking about. He can just book the Breaker, flip Dakochi, and swing into it. You don't necessarily want to have to Regeki Break that. You want to save the Regeki Break for a better card. But let's see what he's going to do here. Grabs his Thunder Dragons. Okay, so he's going to set Solemn Judgment with the Regeki Break, which is fine. The only issue I have here is that if they Heavy Storm, you're forced to Heavy. I mean, you're forced to Solemn that to save your Regeki Break. Or you're forced to just let it go through. In my opinion, I would just set the Book of Moon along with both of these cards, but that's just me. Bamboo draws into DD Warrior Lady, so now I'm thinking it's more of a Goat Control deck. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to play Upstart Goblin now. Okay, so he's going to knock first, and that's going to get Solemn. I'm assuming the reason he knocked is because if it's like a Magician of Faith, if it's a flip effect monster and he also has that, then he'll be able to upstart with less cards in his hand, probably draw himself a better card. But Nobleman gets Solemned. Activates Upstart Goblin, gets Ring of Destruction. So he's already kind of halfway there. Let's see what he does. Maybe he summons this Warrior Lady and swings. And then backs it up with the Ring and Goats if he really wants to. I'm assuming this is going to get Regeki Breaks, by the way. So he sets everything in case it's a Morphing Jar. The Dakochi goes through. He's going to get himself a Spy. Passes over. Ghost Rider draws into Heavy Storm. So he can go ahead and just set the Spy if he wants to. He can assume his opponent doesn't have Nobleman because he just Solemned the first one. So he can go ahead and set this Spy. Now, what he could also do is set the Book of Moon with the Heavy. Try to play his cards into stuff. Or try to have Bamboo play his cards into his face downs and then try to go for a pro heavy to get his to get the pluses back. But let's see what he does. So he just activates Regeki Break on the Warrior Lady. So is he gonna heavy now? Okay, so he heavies. He's gonna hit the Scapegoats. And okay, so he has a Book of Moon, so he can go ahead and set the Gravekeeper Spy. But if you didn't have it, then you should be afraid of a Metamorphosis, and maybe you want to pass turn. But he's gonna go ahead and set the Spy now with the break. With the Book of Moon. Pass over. Bamboo draws into Snatch Steal. Now, if he summons this Kaiku, he's Goat Locked until he draws into a Metamorphosis or until Torrential Tribute goes off. So let's see how he's gonna play this. He sets the Merchant, passes over. Ghost Rider draws into Magician of Faith. Let's see. So he could flip this Spy up and start taking out Goats one by one because the other Spy would be in defense mode. And then Nobleman. But let's see how he's going to play this out. He could just leave him like this so he's Goat Locked. But let's see what he does. So he gets the other Spy in attack mode. He starts swinging at Goats, which is fine. Again, this is just me personally. I would have kept it in defense mode, but you know, that's me. I don't have a 1200 rating, so I guess that's not the right play. Then he plays Nobleman, gets the merchant out, sets Moth, passes over. Bamboo draws into an Econ. So now he's going to summon Kaiku and swing. That's going to get Book of Moons. Activates Econ. So now he's going to bump heads with the Spy. Passes over. Ghost Rider draws into Duo, which isn't doing anything. So let's see his graveyard. Yeah, his graveyard doesn't have much. He might just want to pass over here also. He could. Okay, so he could flip up the Faith to get the heavy and then tribute for Thunder Dragon if he really wants to get rid of this Kaiku. Because all Bamboo has to do is draw another guy. Then he gets through and then he's going to get in with this Kaiku. So he might want to commit to this to try to kill the Kaiku. Let's see what he does. Gets back Nobleman, so he's just going to knock the Kaiku. And swing at the Goat. And let's see if he sets this. Nope, he just passes over. Bamboo draws into a meta, so he's just going to pass. Ghost Rider draws into an Upstart Goblin, so he gets a Dekochi off of it. So now he can set the Dekochi, probably put this in defense mode. It's up to him if he wants to duo. He could potentially do that now because he's in top deck mode, so I'm assuming the next few cards he draws, he's going to play him. Unless they're Chaos Sorcerers. Let's see what he does. Duos. Yep, puts everything in defense mode, draws into another Metamorphosis. He's going to pass again. Okay. Oh, wow. So Snatch Steal is going to get him the Thousand Eyes Restrict. So that's pretty good. You know, I forgot that he had the Snatch Steal down because he set it to try to play around a Morphing Jar. But yeah, okay, so he's just going to pass here. Ghost Rider draws into Magician of Faith. Sets it and passes. Bamboo draws into a Pot of Greed, so that's really good. Draws himself into Nobleman and Decree. Okay, so I do think he's playing Goat Control here. Plays the Nobleman. Just sets the Decree and passes over. Ghost Rider draws into Breaker, which isn't going to do anything here, so I would just pass. Bamboo draws into a Breaker. He's just going to pass here. Ghost Rider draws into Knock. Pass also. Okay, so keep passing. Okay, so sets the Breaker to get him to start using cards, I'm assuming. Ghost Rider draws Upstart Goblin. Plays Upstart, gets Snatch. Knocks. Passes over. Bamboo draws Goats. He could set it, but I'm assuming he's just going to pass. Ghost Rider draws Jar of Greed. So he's been playing this card forever, Jar of Greed. Sets it and passes over. Bamboo draws Sinister. He's going to pass. Ghost Rider draws Sinister. He might want to play this Jar of Greed. Most of the time, people hold on to it so his opponent can play into the jar and he can get a plus off of it. But let's see what he does. Yep, just passes over. And Bamboo draws into a BLS. So he's got a light. Now he's just waiting for this dark to drop. So activates Econ. Activates Jar. And yeah, now he's just going to go for game. And that's game one, guys. So now game two. Ghost Rider is going to go first. Opening hand is Tribe, Mirror, Duo, Thunder Dragon, Knock. Bamboo's opening hand is Heavy, BLS, Kaiku, Goats, Decree. 6 card for Ghost Rider is Judgment. So I'm assuming he's going to Duo first. Let's see what he hits. Guess the Scapegoats. And maybe you want to chuck this BLS. It's either BLS or Decree. Let's see. Okay, so he chucks the Kaiku. Yeah, but this hand's now dead. Let's see what happens now. So Thunder Dragon's going to get played. Maybe set Mirror with Goats and pass. I'm sorry, Mirror with Solomon pass over. Let's see what happens. Passes over, Bamboo draws into an MST. He might want to activate this Heavy Storm now. Okay, so he's just sets Decree. Passes over, Ghost Rider draws Chaos Torque. So there's not much to do here. You have to pass. Bamboo draws into Tribe, so he's gonna pass also. Okay, he sets it. Presumably to start getting him to start playing cards. I'm sorry, presumably so that Bamboo can start getting Ghost Rider to start activating his cards. Ghost Rider draws into a Sangan. So I'm assuming Sangan, knock, and swing. Okay, so he's gonna set that. Let's see if he has any darks in here. No. Yes, if you guys know why he set this, let me know in the comments down below. I would have just manned up with it. Maybe he's scared of Kaiku. Yeah, anyways, Bamboo draws into a Magician of Faith. He's assuming... I'm assuming he's going to set this so that he can get the light in the graveyard. So he doesn't set it. Ghost Rider draws into Book of Moon. Flips Sangan and swings. Sets Book Pass. Bamboo draws into Metamorphosis. So maybe he felt like this could have been a Magician, and he didn't want to risk another Nobleman. So maybe now he's gonna set the Magician of Faith. Yeah. Passes over. Ghost Rider draws into a Night Assailant. So Sangan doesn't necessarily kill many things that are face down. It used to be that it was either a Magician of Faith, a Morphine Jar, or a Magical Merchant, but nowadays it's the Kochi Spy, you know, tomatoes, things like that. So Sangan's almost never killing a face down. Personally, I would just switch it to defense mode, probably set this Night Assailant. But let's see what he does here. So he does swing, gets himself Scapegoats, sets Night Assailant, passes over, draws into Pot of Greed. So let's see. He knows his opponent's playing heavy. I'm sorry. He knows his opponent's playing Solemn Judgment. So he might want to Pot of Greed first to try to get the Solemn out, and then heavy. But let's see how he does this. He plays a Decree. Plays Pot of Greed. Draws Book of Moon and Nobleman. Plays heavy. Gets the backfield out. Nobleman's gonna get rid of the Night Assailant. Now BLS is gonna get rid of this Sangan, and now he could set Goats and Goats and Book. He sets just Book and passes over. Ghost Rider draws Upstart Goblin. So let's see. Play Upstart, gets himself Pot, activates Pot of Greed, gets Magician and Gravekeeper Spy. So he might want to summon Tribe and chuck the Spy to get the Dark in the graveyard. At the very least, if this is Book of Moon, which you should read Book of Moon after BLS gets dropped, because that's like the ultimate protection for it. He can swing in with it and then drop Chaos Sorcerer and get rid of it. But let's see what happens. Okay, so he chucks Thunder Dragon. Book of Moon gets activated, so now he can swing and then discard after that. Chuck another Thunder Dragon. Our problem is he needs to start getting darks in this graveyard. Passes over, but Bamboo draws into a ring. So set, pass. Ghost Rider draws into Regeki Break. So just swing with the Tribe Virus now. He's going to eat the 16, set Regeki Break and the Spy. Now, on the end phase, I can see the Scapegoating getting activated, but let's see what he does. Yeah, so he activates Scapegoats. Draws into Chaos Sork, which is not live. He's going to have to wait for the meta, the Thousand Eyes to die. So, let's see here. Switches the Goat into attack mode. Swings at the Spy. MST's the face down. And activates meta. I'm guessing he's going to take this Tribe Virus. Passes over. Ghost Rider draws into a BLS. which again is still not live. What does he have in his graveyard? He's got a Pot of Greed, so he could set the Faith if he wants to. Passes over, Bamboo draws into Torrential Tribute. So I'm thinking he's going to swing at this face down now. He's going to get back Pot. Is he going to set Torrential? That's the question here, right? Let's see. Heavy's not gone, right? No, so he's just going to pass here. Ghost Rider draws Upstart. Draws Suki. Pot of Greed comes down. Draws Serpent and Solemn Judgment. So if he swings in with the Tsukiyomi, that puts the dark in the graveyard. So you might want to be wary of that. So let's say he does that. Chaos Sorcerer drops, and then if Chaos Sorcerer drops, then he's either forced to Solemn it, or he keeps it on board, and he's just going to start picking apart his spies one by one. And then Ghost Rider doesn't have any darks. Right? Let's see. Yeah, then he doesn't have any darks. So if Suki comes down, maybe he's hoping the ring goes off so that he can BLS after that, but let's see what happens. When I say ring, you know, this could be a Mirror Force, Sakuretsu, Armor, Regeki Break. That's what I mean by that. Swings. The Suki dies. So now main 2, you can go ahead and drop this Luster. Okay, and back it up with the Solemn Judgment. This keeps the dark out of the graveyard. Passes over. Bamboo draws into Warrior Lady. So Torrential's going to go down now. And you might want to set the Warrior Lady also. Okay, so he summons the Warrior Lady. Okay, and gets rid of the BLS. Sets TT and passes. Ghost Rider draws into Jar of Greed. That's going to go down. Okay, puts one of the spies in attack mode. Draws into Graceful Charity. Which isn't necessarily bad here. He could activate it. But he's got a TT down, and I'm sure he's hoping that his opponent summons another monster to try to get in with. And then he can TT, pick up another card to see off of the Graceful Charity, and then play the Graceful. Okay, but he just Gracefuls, that's going to get Solemned. Ghost Rider draws into Tsukiyomi. Plays the Jar of Greed, draws into Faith. So you could just swing now and set the Faith again, and you'll be pretty clear. So swings with both of them, sets Faith and passes over. Bamboo draws into Delinquent Duo. Now the question is, does he know that he has a Serpent in hand? And I don't think he does. So I think he's gonna Duo here. Okay, so he sets a Duo, passes over. Ghost Rider draws into Knock. Now you could just swing for 24 and then flip the Magician of Faith. Let's see how he does this. So he flips first, gets himself a Book of Moon. Torrential goes off. Now drop Chaos Torque. Yep. Swing in, set the book. Okay, so summon Tsukiyomi. I mean, that saves him from Snatch Steal and Tribe Infecting Virus. But it puts him at risk of the one nobleman, so that wasn't a bad move. Passes over. Draws into a meta that doesn't do anything. He's at 1,000. He can't even activate this. And if he's not kidding anybody, he might just scoop it up now. Yep. So now it's game 3, guys. Bamboo's gonna go first. So this is a pretty dope, just straight up goat controlled deck list. And I'm having more fun watching this than the normal chaos decks. But Bamboo's opening hand is Upstart, Graceful, Delinquent Duo, Knock, Ring of Destruction. Ghost Rider's opening hand is Upstart, Double Solemn, Knock, and Breaker. Let's see what the 6th card is for Bamboo. He draws into a Metamorphosis, plays Duo right away. Let's see what he hits. Gets rid of the Breaker. I'm assuming one of these Solemns are leaving. Upstart Goblins into Scapegoats. And now you can set both if you really want to. You could just set Scapegoats and pass. That's what he does. Ghost Rider draws into Spies. He's going to play Upstart. Gets himself Graceful Charity. So now you can just T-set here. Unless you really want to dig into something with this Graceful Charity. Let's see what he does. Yep, just T-sets. Bamboo draws into Tsukuyomi. And Nobleman's going to fire off now. That's going to get Solemned. And that's half of the battle already because you have a Ring of Destruction. So let's see how this goes. Plays Graceful and draws into the Serpent. Wow. So he draws Serpent, Dust Shoot already. I haven't even seen the 3rd card, but those are going to be the cards that he's going to discard. And Merchant. Yeah, so he's going to get rid of these 2. And I'm assuming he's going to set the Merchant. Pass over. Ghost Rider draws into a Spy. Hopefully he has another Spy in his deck. Flip Spy. Drops the other one. He's going to play the Nobleman. Now the question is, do you take 12? Or do you just Scapegoats? Maybe you take 12 to keep one of the goats on the board, right? Okay, so he's like, I'm not eating any of them. So he activates Scapegoats. He hits 2 goats, passes over. Bamboo draws Mystical Space Typhoon. So now this is fine. He can Metamorphosis now and then bump heads into the Spy. And that'll keep his Restrict on the board. He could set Ring of Destruction and pass. So now my question is it worth it to keep the Scapegoats and be put at risk of Duo? Because you've got 2 cards in your hand, you kind of want to keep this Tsukuyomi. So you guys let me know. Do you think he should have just meted the goats, or summoning the Serpent was the right play? Passes over. Ghost Rider draws into Solemn Judgment. He hasn't seen the Tsukuyomi, so he might just set. He also doesn't have any more Spies, so he might Graceful Charity now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so he Gracefuls, draws Thunder Dragon, Chaos Orc, and Tsukuyomi. So he could discard the Thunder Dragon and the Gravekeeper Spy to keep these. But let's see what he does. Yeah, that's what he does. Drops Tsukuyomi. Tries to swing in. That's going to get ring. Now he's going to set the Solemn and pass. Draws Dust Shoot. That's not going to do anything. Draw phase, activate MST. So that's really good. He didn't get his Serpent, because then Dust Shoot kind of messes him up there. But he immediately activates Space Typhoon. Gets back his Serpent. Now he just flips us in attack mode and just hangs out there. Ghost Rider draws into Magician of Faith. Now he's going to have to Sork this. He's going to have to Sork, set the Faith, and pass over. And let's see what Bamboo draws into. Bamboo draws into Book of Moon. Yeah, you don't have any plays here. You know that the Spies are gone. This gets over to Kochi, so you might want to summon this and then swing at the face down. Just because you don't want them to be able to flip up their Magician of Faith. Because that just leads to more stuff. Yep, so that's exactly what he does. Sets the Book of Moon. Swings into the Faith. That's going to get back Graceful Charity. Picks it up, passes over. Ghost Rider draws into a Sangan. So he might be tempted to hold on to this for the Sangan to die. He's got no monsters in grave, so a Chaos Blade's not coming anytime soon. Flips Zork. Gets rid of the token, summons Sangan. And I'm assuming he did that so that he can bait a Mirror Force. And then he can Graceful Charity and chuck the Serpent after that. But it went through. Bamboo draws into a Metamorphosis, which is good because now he can just do the meta play. Yep, swing into the Sangan. Okay, so he just passes, sets the Serpent. Ghost Rider draws into the Serpent. I said set the Serpent. He sets a Dust Shoot. Ghost Rider draws into Serpent, activates Graceful Charity. Draws Mind Control, another Thunder Dragon, and a Sinister Serpent. So Serpent's gone. And then you might want to discard the Night Assailant also to get back your Magician of Faith. He saw the Tsukuyomi. So that's the issue here. Yeah, you still might want to get back your Magician of Faith. Duel is gone, so yeah, get your Faith back. Play the Thunder Dragon, and then just pass. Okay, sets the Mind Control. That's fine. Bamboo draws into Faith. I'm assuming he's gonna swing now because he has the Dust Shoot. Let's see what Ghost Rider gets. Maybe another. If he has another Sugi, he's gonna get it. Yep, he does have another Suki. Sets his own Faith, passes over, draws Upstart Goblin, and Bamboo's gonna shotgun this Dust Shoot. Get the Tsukuyomi out. Let's see if he draws it. He doesn't draw it. He draws a Faith. This game is practically over. Bamboo draws into a Sork. He forgot to get his Serpent back. Yeah, maybe he would have thought twice if he had gotten the Serpent. But anyways, he's gonna flip this Magician. Presumably Nobleman this Faith. Okay, so he gets back Graceful. Gets meta Upstart Book of Moon. He's gonna get rid of this Serpent, maybe the Upstart Goblin. Flips it up, takes the Magician, and just passes over. Rider draws into a Regeki Break. Maybe he's gonna remember now to get back his Serpent. Sets it, sets Magician, passes over. Bamboo draws into a Knock. He's gonna get back his Sinister Serpent. Play the Nobleman right away. Drop the Tsukuyomi because you want to bait out. You want to bait out the Torrential now. And he's gonna swing for 14. And this is gonna get Regeki Breaks, right? Flips it back up. Sets a second Book of Moon and then passes over. Ghost Rider draws Book, gets back Serpent. Now you can set that. So he could Book of Moon both. Let's see what he does. Draw Scapegoat, sucks up. Passes over. Ghost Rider draws to the Tsukuyomi. Drops it. That's going to get booked. Okay, so he keeps that. Okay. So he lets it go through. Maybe he just wants a shot with the Chaos Sword. Let's see. End phase Book of Moon. Maybe he wants to dig for the Heavy Storm. Draws BLS. Let's see, his graveyard here. So TT and Mirror Force are still there. Okay, gets back Graceful, plays it. And if he draws a heavy, then that's just it. So he gets Exiled Force, Torrential, and Stork. He's going to get rid of the Sinister. Maybe even the BLS, just to get a light in the graveyard. Let's see what happens. Yep, BLS and Sinister, and he can drop a Ryu Senshi with this, and try to go for game. The only thing that's gonna stop it, I don't remember if Ryu Senshi can even get booked. Let's see what happens. Goes into Senshi. Yeah, and that's the game, guys. What were his face downs? Mind Control and Book of Moon. So I'm assuming Ryu Senshi can't get booked. But I'll check that out. I'll check that out some other time. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Again, like always, guys, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Like I mentioned before, if you want to help support it, check out my links in the description below. If there was any other plays that I didn't catch that maybe you guys caught, let me know. Also, if you want to send over your matches, you can do so by sending it over to my Facebook. You can send it to me on Discord, you can send it to me on Instagram, or just check me out on Dueling Book. My name is GringingGoatFormat. And anyways, guys, I'll see you on the next one, all right? Peace.